ensemble on the 5th of February during heavy rains. Normally I wear black jeans and I never show my belly. But for some reason I whacked this together and I stood in front of the mirror and I thought, hey, I've got a Madonna thing happening here. Or George Michael. It's probably really 80s, but I felt kind of hip and cool. Even though this is actually came up to John the top. An amazingly wonderful thing has happened in Newtown in the last summer. Girls with bellies have begun displaying them. Normally only really skinny chicks show their tummies or lack thereof, but this summer I was seeing naked bellies wherever I went. It's such a turn on. I don't know if it's because I've come off one of my medications. Mood stabiliser. Evelyn. So, for the first time in my life, I began to experience lust, which is really fucking weird if you've never known it before. All I know is I'd be sitting in cafes on King Street, seeing all these naked bellies go by, and I'd be losing it. And one day, I suddenly became aware that I was part of this passing meat market. For the first time in my life, just before my 32nd birthday, I thought, fuck, I want to be sexy. It's the first time this thought has occurred to me. Anyway, about a week later, on the 5th of February, I discovered this outfit. I realise it's not exactly sexy, but if you know me, you know I'm pretty clueless. Right, so it's a freezing cold day and I'm walking down the street with my belly showing to the world for the first time in my life. It's only become really insecure, but I quickly assure myself that someone found to enjoy the sight. Then I felt totally stupid. And I thought, it's ridiculous that it's come to this after spending an entire life being completely oblivious to myself as a sexual being. I was now flashing bits of flesh to the world as the ice-cold gale whipped past me. I sat down and had a coffee and decided not to give the whole thing another thought. I mean, really, there are more important things to think about, like the end of the world. Tonight's theme. Remember when you were a kid and something would go wrong and a well-meaning adult would assure you it's not the end of the world? Well, a little after September the 11th, there were a few moments when I truly got stressed out. But in a perverse kind of way, it excited me as well. I'm a great believer in the end of the world. I think it'll be a glorious day when the trumpets sound and all of us evil fucks are left lying dead in the streets. But really, I fear for my mortal soul. I don't know if I've lived a good life. In January, I read a bit of Plato, who, I don't normally do that, was writing his voice through Socrates, who was about to face his death. He got the death penalty for corrupting the minds of the youth. A bit like Marilyn Manson. Not quite. Anyway, as he was about to drink the poison, he was really calm and philosophical, and his friends were freaking out like, hey man, you're about to die! And then Socrates, or rather Plato, goes on for the next couple of pages and proves the immortality of the soul. To prove this by logic, it's quite an amazing feat. But what I was thinking was, can you imagine if the world blows up and all our souls are waiting to be processed? I'm wondering if there are detention centres on the outskirts of I guess that's what purgatory is, a big detention centre where our souls are trapped waiting to find out whether their applications for eternal bliss have been accepted. Whenever I get angry at Bush or Howard, I try to remember to send them love and not hate. I figure if we all send them love, maybe something will reach their hearts. I don't think it's totally insane most of us off the face of the earth. This may seem like a really depressing thought. It's actually really liberating. I mean, if you truly believe this, and I truly believe this, then what's the meaning of your life? What are you going to do with the time you have left on the planet? For years, I think I secretly thought I could change the course of the world. I'd become a really great artist and say really great things, and people would listen and would all live happily ever after. I think I've come to my senses a little in that respect. But yeah. There are a few problems with that plan. But basically, there's nothing anyone can do. We're doomed. The species is fucked. There's no way to save us. And when it comes down to it, why would you want to? I mean, humans are great. Humans are incredible. I know quite a few of them that I like. It's just that we're pretty fucked up on the whole. It's a great shame. I don't know if I got my terms right, but I don't really think I'm a fatalist or nihilist or something, because I really hope there's some sort of hope, faith and compassion left in my heart. It's just that I don't see the almost total extinction of the species to be such a dreadfully great loss. But I do worry about our souls. I mean, do they go back into the life force of the planet? I guess you've got to decide what you think about a soul. The way I think of it is you cut my head open, you get this meaty kind of thing called a brain, but you can't actually see my thoughts or memories or anything. And if you cut me down the middle, see all my organs, but you can't see my emotions or repressions. But these are the things that make me real. Not the incredibly sexy clothes I'm wearing. It's my thoughts and my feelings and the energy that surrounds my body. If you came close enough to me to understand those things, you'd get an idea of where I'm coming from. You'd also discover I'm a smoker. If you reveal those things to me, I'd get to know you. We'd be friends. You can touch the soul metaphysically, but you can't put it in a glass container after we die. But does it leave the body or die with the body? Does it pass on to the consciousness of this life, or does the ego totally disappear and all that's left is this unfathomable, divine, collective energy? Or is it all crap? I mean, there are belief systems that have the answers to this stuff, and I wish I wasn't so ignorant, because it does concern me. I keep thinking I should be working out what a good life is, that I should be living one. I want to face my death like Socrates. I don't want to be afraid. Even if there's no meaning of life, I'm determined to create one. I'm even prepared to adopt one from one of the major belief systems. One that encourages sex with animals. So much of the crap inside us is Christian shit. It's Easter Sunday, everybody's struck down. But it is, and some of it's good, some of it's profound. But a lot of it's incredibly shameful and judgmental, and trying to sift through that and be healthy in this life is a fucking nightmare. Christianity is based on the notion of redemption, and I can't help but feel that the crap I feel inside me is basically because I'm doing something wrong. I'm sure it takes a lot of hard work and discipline before we move beyond the darkness in us, before we're kind and loving and compassionate to everyone equally. But I can't help but feel if we all had that sort of peace in our hearts, that there'd be some sort of hope for the species and the planet. I sometimes dream of a world of really wise leaders instead of these right-wing fuckwits. But there's no use pointing the finger when I'm still angry and hurt and hateful at all the perceived injustices inflicted upon me in my youth. It's a bit serious, isn't it? I think comedy is a much better way to try and communicate this sort of stuff. I think trying to generate love and laughter is a more medicinal approach to life. Failing that, there's nothing like a bit of Irish dancing. My niece, who's 85, is becoming a horse I listened to too much Morrissey as an adolescent. Life can be this profound, amazing, wonderful, rich experience on a good day. We're all on these little journeys. It's an incredible gift. Unfortunately, mine doesn't get me out of the house very often. I keep meaning to do something useful. I always wanted to be a pop star or a porn star. But, failing that, I like the idea of being a protest singer. I think I just like the idea of having my clothes ripped off. Although I don't know if Bob Dylan ever had his clothes ripped off. If you want to throw your underwear in. This is my protest song, and I'm not going to yeah, okay. Not long after September the 11th, I was sitting in the Korean bars with a friend who was telling me how sensual Bin Laden's lips were. I was talking to a boy behind a counter who was worried about being restricted once Indonesia began its invasion. I was at a meeting of left-wing parties, communists and socialists, arguing quite heatedly about who should be given a voice at the upcoming rally. I asked if I could do some stand-up comedy but got voted down. After September the 11th, I stopped going to uni and started writing emails to a friend trying to work out what the fuck was happening in the world. I had to listen to a dickhead like Bush throw around the hollow term of God, so he had a clue. He spoke about evil without the slightst notion of the darkness in his own heart. I saw images of a world in turmoil on the brink of something catastrophic, and I sat still with my breath held tight, believing the end was nigh. My whole life changed after that day. When suddenly US foreign policy seemed like one explanation for the pain that drove some people to strap bombs to their bodies and blow up passers-by. The whole world stopped and everyone took sides, and I sat in the middle with a huge lump of remorse resting solidly in my throat. The time ticked by and the bombs were dropped on one of the poorest nations of the earth. But the real issues were never faced, the fact that people need to be fed and housed and educated. And everyone, yes everyone, given an equal chance. And I know it sounds so ignorant, but it astounds me to this day how a species that thinks it's so advanced still hasn't found ways to live in peace, to respect one another and the planet, and to celebrate our diversity, and to recognise that love is the true source of all that's real, not money, power, oil and greed. And I look at this country with such different eyes, as a nation backed by our government, unable to apologise or admit when it's wrong, thinking its heels into a fascism and celebrating its racist agenda so embarrassed to be proud of, when really all I feel is shame for the way the world's behaving. Now we've all gone back to our lives as though nothing has happened, but something has changed, and the world will never be the same after that day. We still have to face the mistakes that caused that day. I sing there, but I don't sing. I'll just leave it. See ya.
Well done, Shauna.